Hello and welcome, I'm Johan Castell and you're watching Wings. On the show today, we go for a kayaking adventure in Kerala. We look at what to do around the Chinese city where the Asian Games are underway. And show you travel and tourism updates from Kashmir to Cairo. Also on the show, we feature the latest art exhibits in Europe. Let's get started. Ever wanted to go for an adventurous activity on the picturesque backwaters of Kerala? We've got you covered. Please look at our experience visiting a secluded island with a mysterious backstory in Aleppi. Kerala is located in the southwestern region of India and is known as God's own country for its breathtaking natural beauty, lush landscapes and diverse cultural heritage. It is a popular tourist destination and offers many attractions and experiences. One of the things this Indian state is famous for is its vast network of backwaters. It is one of the most iconic features of Kerala and comprises lakes, canals and rivers that meander through picturesque villages and lush greenery. Aleppi and Kumarakom are popular destinations for houseboat cruises, providing a unique and tranquil way to experience the region. Today, I'm heading to a property called Secluded by the lake that has 10 rooms across 3 buildings. This is my jump-off point to visit a secluded island located just opposite the hotel. But before we begin, Sujit helps me put on a life jacket. Safety first. Getting ready. We're gonna set off on a kayaking adventure. We're gonna cross the Great Lagoon and visit this magnificent island and see if we can find any wild animals. These canoes come in 2 varieties. There's a single one and a double one. I'm opting for the single one. And it looks like the kind of kayak that even if you turn it over, it's still gonna float. So
you can use this.
It's quite fail-proof. Further across this lagoon or the backwater area here, there's the Kumarakom Bird Sanctuary. Now birding is not in season right now. The migratory birds are not there. I think they're coming in around December to April, March, April, around there. The way to the island is pretty straightforward. I maintain a straight course, aiming right for the middle of it. The island is located nearly 1 kilometer away, and it is just the right distance to provide a half-decent workout for those not used to kayaking. It is becoming ever more clear to me that this activity is almost all upper body work, and it seems excellent for the core. There are a few other participants who join me on the way, and we are now a small group. It doesn't take long before we reach the island, and there is a proper pier on its shore that has been built to allow for houseboats to come here. All right, so we have managed to reach the island after about 1 kilometer's paddle, and it says Ihalt Padiramanal. It means midnight sand, and there is a folk tale that says that, well, the island appeared at midnight, and it is a sandy island. Now that is just a tale, and we don't know if it's true, but that's what the legend says. The most exciting part of this sandy, mysterious island is located very close to the pier we landed at. There is a tree house.
With a metal ladder and frame, the construction feels surprisingly stable and sturdy and doesn't flex at all under my weight.
How's the view from up there? Do you see any birds? Yeah. Well, yeah, it's a little bit of a tricky spot, that one there. You have to switch ladder and turn around and twist. Pretty nice. Wow. Really solid, huh? This is a really nice tree house. The entire structure is made of steel and they put a little bit of bamboo on the top, so it feels super, super stable. I'd give it a 5 out of 5 stars rating for this tree house. We could put this on Airbnb right away. So we managed to find a tree house on the island. How cool is this? I love tree houses. We climbed up the ladder, made of steel entirely, super stable. And even the treehouse structure is made of steel, so it feels super, super solid. Just a bit of bamboo on the top to give it that, you know, real treehouse feel. But it's about 12 meters off the ground, and I guess if you can have the patience to sit there for a few hours, you're in a pretty good spot to, you know, see some birds and pretty good wildlife. There's a bird sanctuary pretty close by, so I'm sure it's a prime spot for keen birders if they have the patience to sit there for hours.
What a fantastic spot! I love tree houses in all shapes and sizes. Although there isn't much to do up there, it still brings out the child in you.
But just a fun little excursion, you know? Getting in the canoe, exercise a little bit, get to explore some little remote island with no infrastructure on it hardly. Cool adventure, I say.
It's time for a snack. After all that paddling, we deserve a treat.
It's been a pretty fabulous morning, to say the least. Going for an adventure, it's a great way to start the day, but I think this marks the end of my excursion to Kerala for now. But I would love to come back here, especially in the birding season when there's quite a good chance to see migratory birds coming here. Like, perfect environment for birders. So I think December to March or so should be the perfect time for an adventure like this. And that's probably when you should come here too.
What a day out on the backwaters in Kerala. Small, spontaneous excursions like these make traveling worthwhile.
The Asian Games are about to conclude in China's Hongzhou, and the area has seen a large influx of tourists for the Games. Check out these top spots if you're in the area where the Games occur.
The 19th Asian Games are currently underway in Hongzhou city in central China, and the Games conclude this weekend. The area has seen a large influx of tourists due to the Games, and the dates fall during this year's extra-long Mid-Autumn Festival and also the National Day holiday season from September 29th to October 6th.
Because I have been to Hongzhou several times, I feel that the number of people this year is about 2 or 3 times more compared to before. It is currently the peak tourist season, coinciding with the National Day and Mid-Autumn Festival holidays and overlapping with the Asian Games. So, many people probably have the same idea as me to come and visit Hongzhou.
The city strategically leverages this prestigious sporting event to drive economic growth and development. The Games occur every 4 years. Hongzhou has surged in popularity now, evidenced by a remarkable 500% surge in tourism bookings for the October holiday compared to the previous year, when the stringent pandemic travel restrictions were still in effect. To support tourism development, authorities in Hongzhou announced 5 one-day accessible trip routes that cover well-known top scenic spots. These include West Lake, the Grand Canal, the Kayaking River, and the Liangzhu ancient city, and a tea culture taste.
You can learn about the tea culture along the ancient routes and get a better understanding of the Asian Games at the same time. For the National Day holidays, our rooms are already booked up to 80%.
Besides heightened travel expenditures, Chinese consumers are keenly interested in acquiring Asian Games memorabilia, leading to long queues outside franchise souvenir shops. With a clear objective to transform Hongzhou into a city renowned for sporting events, local officials anticipate hosting more major events will catalyze widespread improvements within the city. So, what are some of the highlights of the Games? Neeraj Chopra won his gold in javelin, and overall it has been the best Asian Games in history for India.
Now it's time for the latest travel and tourism updates from India's Kashmir to Basra in Iraq and Cairo in Egypt. Please take a look at our report.
Officials announced last Thursday that India's federal territory of Jammu and Kashmir has witnessed an unprecedented surge in tourist arrivals following the G20 summit. Often hailed as paradise on earth, this region is renowned for its breathtaking landscapes and natural splendor.
I am feeling good. We have heard that Kashmir is the paradise of the world, but when we saw it, we really felt that it is indeed a paradise. We also have mountains and scenery in Bangladesh, but we do not have the serene beauty in our country.
As per reports, Jammu and Kashmir welcomed a staggering 12.7 million tourists up until last month this year, a pace that could potentially surpass the previous year's record. To boost tourism, connectivity and commerce in this sensitive area, a G20 tourism working group convened in May in the summer capital of Srinagar.
There's a lot of international arrivals after the G20 event, which has roundabout increased by many fold. We have the highest numbers ever in the last 30 years of foreign tourist arrivals.
The concerted effort to promote tourism in the valley is geared towards restoring and surpassing the visitor numbers observed in years past. Over to Iraq now. The city of Basra now hosts a remarkable library dedicated to antiquities and heritage, located within the former palace of Iraq's ex-president Saddam Hussein. This facility boasts an extensive array of books and manuscripts about the ancient monuments and archaeological sites of the country.
It's the opening of the first archaeological library in Basra Governorate. It contains many archaeology books closely discussing antiquities and heritage. These books include rare publications by foreign and Iraqi excavation missions that worked 100 or 70 years ago on archaeological sites throughout Iraq and produced books of their opinions, suggestions and interpretations for archaeological phenomena that existed in ancient Iraq.
Positioned within the Basra Cultural Museum, this new library is a valuable resource for scholars, providing them access to a wealth of archaeological publications and sources. For the residents of this southern city, the library's collection is a noteworthy addition, encompassing eras such as the Sumerian and Babylonian periods, along with other key epochs in Iraq's ancient history. Notably, Basra Museum remained closed to the public from 1991, following the First Gulf War, until its reopening in 2019. And now, let's see the latest from Egypt. Experts have meticulously restored an extraordinary copy of the Quran, which dates back to the very first inception of Islam itself. This ancient manuscript was unveiled for public viewing last Wednesday at Egypt's esteemed National Library and Archives. It is thought to originate from the early stages of the first Hijri century, tracing back to the 7th century AD, and is named after the distinctive Hijazi script in which it is penned. This Quran copy is inscribed on animal skin and comprises 32 pages. It is believed to be one of the most ancient Quran manuscripts in existence, as affirmed by Malak Noshimalak, an inspector at the Antiquities Ministry.
Moving on, we bring an update on the latest interesting art, museum and theater shows in Europe. Take a look at the story.
In Paris's Orsay Museum, a new Van Gogh exhibition gives visitors a virtual reality experience of the artist. And what is the aim of the show? To give viewers a conversation with Van Gogh's digital twin in the most natural way possible. It is on display at the Musée d'Orsay from October 3rd. Here visitors can get a virtual reality experience via an AI rendition of the artist. The exhibition hopes to get visitors to talk about Van Gogh and his life and to move the visitor from being a passive observer to an active participant through cutting-edge technology in the most natural way possible. Last Friday, locals and tourists exploring Bilbao's renowned Guggenheim Museum were treated to a remarkable exhibition featuring sculptures by the acclaimed artist Pablo Picasso, titled Picasso Sculpture, Matter and Body. This exhibit combines 50 pieces created between 1909 and 1962, captivating visitors at the Basque Country Museum.
This time that there is an exhibition of Picasso in the Basque Country, we should not forget that the Basque had Guernica, and that was the start of this extraordinary painting Picasso did. And so Picasso and the Basque Country had an history, but they never had an exhibition of him.
This event marks the inaugural occasion that Bilbao has hosted a showcase of works by the genius behind the iconic Guernica painting, a poignant response to the devastating bombing of the Basque town of the same name by Nazi Germany and fascist Italy at the behest of Spanish nationals. For visitors to the exhibit, seeing the works of this legendary painter in 3D is much appreciated.
Recognize his style, and it's amazing, and it's always telling you something, and you can picture in your head also a story, and yeah, I really liked it.
Es que yo creo que Picasso escultor es el gran desconocido, ¿no? Y a mí me parece que es una manera mucho más fácil de entender su obra, ¿no? Porque precisamente cuando hablamos de cubismo, esa faceta pictórica de representar el movimiento, y en la escultura lo podemos ver porque vemos la escultura en 360.
Hailing from Malaga, Picasso delved into sculpture early in his illustrious 76-year career, which also encompassed painting, ceramics and printmaking. Inaugurated by one of Picasso's grandsons, the exhibition commemorates the 50th anniversary of the artist's passing in April 1973. Over to France again now for an unusual performance with puppets made of ice at Marseille's theatre Joliette. The translucent bodies of the puppets stand out against the dimly lit theatre, revealing their fragile nature. This performance with human-sized effigies took place on Tuesday, with puppeteers pulling strings as the ice slowly withered away. For the workers, making puppets like these is tedious work. The performance is the brainchild of visual artist Elise Vineron, who has worked with ice for around a decade.
C'est vraiment un matériau pour moi fascinant à ce niveau-là parce que
the ice hardens on the outside, so you get a crust with all the detail you want. On the other hand, the water on the inside needs to be removed. So we drill to extract the water and then refreeze it, which gives us a puppet that's both quite light and attractive compared to a solid block.
The show might seem morbid as the human-sized puppets melt, but Vineron insists it is instead cyclical.
Now it's time for the latest travel and tourism updates for those looking for the best experiences. We call this segment our News Deck, and today we focus on the latest festivals for tourists worldwide.
Last Thursday, a colossal, intricately crafted dragon stuffed with straw gracefully danced its way through the narrow lanes of a historic district in Hong Kong, leaving thousands of spectators in awe. This age-old ritual, on hiatus for 4 years, made a triumphant return. The dragon, spanning an impressive 67 meters, was fashioned using rattan branches, bamboo and pearl grass. Adorned with approximately 12,000 burning incense sticks, a dedicated ensemble of 300 performers bore it. their movements synchronized with the rhythmic beats of drums and gongs. For over 140 years, the Tai Hang neighborhood has faithfully preserved this tradition, initially conceived to ward off a plague following a devastating typhoon. It has since become an iconic celebration during Hong Kong's Mid-Autumn Festival. Notably, the Fire Dragon dance was bestowed the honor of being included in China's national list of intangible cultural heritage back in 2011. South Dakota cowboys rallied to corral over 1,500 bison in an annual effort to preserve this species, which has made a remarkable recovery from near extinction. Spectators from around the globe cheered as horseback riders emitted spirited whoops chased the thundering woolly giants across the picturesque hills and grasslands of Custer State Park. This is the sole buffalo roundup in the U.S. and is undertaken to assess the bison's well-being and administer vaccinations to the calves. At one point, as many as 60 million bison roamed North America and played a pivotal role in the culture and survival of Native Americans. However, they were driven to near extinction over a century ago due to extensive hunting. By 1889, only a few hundred remained. The park's herd originated from 36 animals purchased in 1914. A state ecologist estimated that this park can support around 1,000 bison. The remaining 500 will be put up for auction. The Thimphu Tsechu, an annual celebration in Bhutan's capital city, drew a multitude of attendees last week. This vibrant festival, observed on the 10th day of a lunar month in the Bhutanese calendar, pays homage to the profound teachings of Guru Rinpoche, the revered Buddhist master who introduced Buddhism to the nation. The air was filled with applause as dancers adorned in resplendent silk robes and striking masks showcased traditional performances inspired by the tantric wisdom of Guru Rinpoche.
That's all we have for you on this week's show, but we'll return again next weekend. Until then, it is me, Johan Castell, signing off.